to my channel Spiritual Bloom, where we bloom within our consciousness. If you are new here, I welcome you to my channel, and if you have visited my channel before, I welcome you again. I am Neha, your spiritual coach and twin flame guide. So without wasting any time, today we'll be talking about a very important topic, that is on divine masculine. I will be dividing it into two episodes. The first will be on divine masculine and the second will be on divine feminines. So it's not just about divine masculine, it is also about the transformation. So before going any further, let's know about the divine masculine. Who are divine masculines actually? So let me describe you from the very beginning. Each and every human on this planet, each and every one of us, we carry two most powerful energies. And those two powerful energies are the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which is inside each and every soul. These energies are also known as yin and yang, which needs to be balanced in every individual. The divine masculine energy is such an energy that it can exist within anyone irrespective of gender. So it has no gender. The masculine energy has got nothing to do with gender. It is basically an energy. It exists among all of us, but it's just that among some female it operates in extreme masculinity, and within some male it operates in extreme masculinity. So it's an energy, and it should not be confused with any kind of physical gender. Like I told you, it has got nothing to do with gender. Both men or women can hold this masculine energy. Okay, and this divine masculine energy is also within the third gender, which is the transgender. I will not be discussing that on this episode, since it's just about divine masculine, so let's stick to it. I will bring an episode separately on the transgender and how the energies works on transgenders. So both men or women can hold the masculine energy. Now, how does this energy program on male and female? We will discuss that. So when the masculine energy is within a male, okay, firstly I'll describe when the masculine energy is within a male, how does it operate? Especially when he is a distorted masculine, he's not yet a divine masculine. So how does it operate? So when a masculine energy is in his distortion, he is extremely stubborn, prideful, egotistical, materialistic, and stuck in matrix. So he doesn't listen to anybody. They are extremely egotistical. So these are some of the characteristics which stems from their childhood. These characteristics are not something it has come into their character or personality, but it has been uprooted because of their childhood traumas. The divine masculine often have an extremely painful childhood, where either of their parents abandon them or are absent, or they mature quickly because they have to take the burden of responsibility of their family at a very young age, which makes them tough and are forced to grow in survival mode. Other kids grow up in love. That's why some of the kids in their adulthood, they are quite soft, nurturing, loving. Whereas the divine masculines who grew up in an extremely survival mode, because of that, they look extremely rough and tough externally, but internally they are extremely kind, compassionate person. So all the characteristics that I have told you about being stubborn, prideful, egotistical, or materialistic is not a part of their personality. It has come because of their childhood traumas, because they had to see so much at a very young age. Sometimes the parents often have a very disturbing marriages leading to divorce, which makes the masculine child feel unsafe. Since a very young age, he starts feeling unsafe because one of the parent is not present, or even if they are present under one roof, they fight. So his concept of love is something else. That's why he always feels unsafe. And because of all these factors, they become hyper independent in their life. Gradually, they dislike asking favor or help from anyone because since childhood they've built up a strong boundary so that they become less accessible to others. That boundary is so high that even if they are in need, they don't feel like asking for help. It's not out of ego, it's just that they want to make themselves safe within that boundary, and they make themselves self reliable, that they need not ask help from anyone or anybody. That is how their mindset is. Even after they've become adult, that is the mindset that they carry. Whereas on the other hand, now let's talk about the masculine energy in a female body. I am a female, even I have masculine energy, but here we are talking about the masculine energy in female body when it is in extreme and it is not balanced. So those are called divine masculines in feminine body. Okay, when the masculinity is in extreme. So what happens? They become narcissistic and controlling, just like masculines in a male body. The females of such carrying such masculine energy are extremely money minded and in many cases selfish too. I will not lie here. So when a female forgets to operate in her feminine energy and operates in her masculine energy, many relationships in her life starts falling apart, especially partnerships leading to breakup, divorce I've heard the most. And whenever my clients they describe about their wife, I don't want to be mean, but then women, when they operate in extreme masculinity, the relationship starts falling apart, not because the man cannot control, it's because it needs to be balanced. So when the female is in too much masculine energy, she becomes hyper independent, she feels like controlling everybody, which is not a good thing. So even if a female body is operating in masculine energy, she needs to cool down that masculine and needs to balance and synchronize it with her feminine energy. Okay, so now we'll talk about how a divine masculine becomes a divine masculine, means how a distorted masculine transforms into a divine masculine. So as we all know that a divine masculine is not a divine masculine since the very beginning. He is a distorted masculine. Here I'm using he because it's easy for me to describe. Okay, so don't think that I'm saying he so it has to got something to do with gender. No, it's not. I'll say he, but it can be he or a she. So the divine masculine is a distorted masculine before evolving into divine masculine. So it takes time for him to evolve into a divine masculine. So the divine masculine has to go through many ego death karmic cycle before he actually becomes a divine masculine. So in this transformation, the universe teaches him many lessons where his attachment to his old life, material life, slowly decreases. Where once upon a time he used to be extremely money hungry, he used to carry on the job which he doesn't like, his soul doesn't permit, but still he's carrying on that job. So all that attachment vanishes with time as he evolves, as he awakens. When a divine masculine is distorted, he is extremely egotistical, controlling, narcissist, and attracted to material gains. I'm not saying that attracting material gain is something bad, but they have this kind of obsession which is not good. Anything of too much is not good. In the same way, he is attached to material gains. They're extremely workaholic. They can't find balance between work, personal life, family life. They don't even understand what is self love. So that is toxic. That becomes toxic. The divine masculine, he's also a people pleaser. They try to maintain, false image in society and family, and keeps on pleasing people, keeps on doing things for people who use him in real life. Because he's kind and compassionate, these people around him, they use him for his kindness. So as he learns his lessons and his karmic loops, he notices the real face of these people as their mask falls off. And with that, gradually he understands his worth in their life and slowly comes into the detachment mode. The divine masculine detaches with such people. He also detaches with jobs, places, friends, family members who no longer fulfills his soul. He changes jobs, business, and comes into his actual soul purpose and starts helping people for which he has actually come. Like if he has been working in an office, administration, or for example, he's an engineer and he's working in some big corporate company, he will not feel like working there anymore. Though he's living a very luxurious life, something within his soul is with time will keep on knocking him, reminding him that I'm not happy here. So that is how he drastically changes his career path from engineer to maybe an entrepreneur, or maybe from an engineer to a counselor, or from an engineer to public speaker. It can be anything, or politician. I don't know, I'm just giving an example. So he changes jobs, sometimes the place where he's working, he shifts from that place, he leaves that city, that town, that country. Friends with whom he used to hang out, slowly they start fading away and he becomes lonely. Even family members, he cuts off ties when he realizes that the way he values his family, they do not value him the same way. He is just an ATM machine, he is just a money making machine for people. So when he realizes that, he automatically detaches with such family members. And the divine masculine has always been soft, kind, and compassionate, since the very beginning, since a child. But after his awakening, he realizes where he needs to draw a boundary and where he must pour his energy and time. Because these masculines, they are very kind-hearted, compassionate. They can't see people in trouble, so they keep on giving, overpouring, giving. And later when they realize, when he comes to know the true colors of people, he draws a strict boundary, like nobody's allowed to cross that boundary, and he knows where to pour his energy, his time. He understands things very clearly. So once the divine masculine awakens, he becomes a completely different person. If you have come across any divine masculine in your life, or you are in a twin flame journey yourself, you will come to know the difference with time, how things changes, how a distorted masculine turns into a divine masculine. He becomes more evolved, and all the ego vanishes, pride vanishes, attachment vanishes. It's because he learns how to balance his feminine side, and therefore he becomes more nurturing. So it is vice versa. The divine masculine needs to awaken his feminine side and balance it with his masculine side. Same goes to divine feminine. She needs to awaken her masculine side and balance it with her feminine side. So the divine feminine part I will be covering in another episode. So it's all about balance. No matter it is divine masculine or divine feminine, both have to balance the yin and yang. When the yin and yang are not balanced, that leads to distortion, that leads to turbulence in their life. So that's all. I hope you like my content and it resonated with your heart. If you really liked my video, please like, share, subscribe. And for any kind of counseling and guidance, you can contact me through email or WhatsApp. My email and WhatsApp number has been given in the description box and even in the video itself. Thank you for listening to me, and I shall see you soon in another video. Thank you.